remember seeing the poster for Renaissance man Werner Herzog's 2003 film Grizzly Man, and underneath all the accolades that the film had gained on the festival circuit, read the words, "In nature there are boundaries. One man spent the last 13 years of his life crossing them." And I thought, wow, what a tagline. I'm definitely going to go and see this movie. This was a point that was early in my film education, and I didn't know Herzog as a documentary filmmaker yet, but more a boundary breaker himself, making the feverish films Aguirre, The Wrath of God, Fata Morgana, Fitzcarraldo, and so on. I knew him as a chance taker and a mold breaker, but through Grizzly Man, I would learn how to love the filmmaker as an artistic inspiration.
That he mentions, it's the first scene in the film, or very much at the beginning, and he says we have to be like the fly on the wall. Wrong. As documentary filmmakers, you should not be the fly on the wall. That's what the security camera at Walmart does.
With Grizzly Man, Herzog achieved something which made me change the way I looked at cinema. In his works, like Fitzcarraldo, he had explored the human condition before, through feats of incredible beauty, often madness, and it seemed to me always chaos. The opening shots of Aguirre, The Wrath of God, show us the fierceness of one small part of nature, in the raging current that the explorers will try to conquer, but they will never win. Because in that small part of nature lies everything we need to know about it. Even that small part will always be stronger than us, and we should respect it and be apart from it, because after all, it is the most pure and violent part of ourselves, and for me, this is what Grizzly Man is all about.
I beat your asses. I protected the animals. I did it. You. Animals rule.
We must respect these boundaries that Herzog speaks of, because if we do not, it can lead to madness, chaos, and the end. But what is so spectacular and awe-inspiring about Grizzly Man is that through the medium of cinema, found footage if you will, because I've often thought as a fan of the found footage genre that Grizzly Man is the ultimate found footage doc.
Lord, I do not want to be hurt by a bear. I do not.
Is that this movie transcends death. It transcends the physical boundaries that Timothy Treadwell and Amie Huguenard left behind when they were eaten by grizzly bears at the end of Treadwell's 13th summer, living with grizzlies in Katmai National Park in Alaska. The film transcends these boundaries, as Herzog has a conversation or an argument, you might say, with Treadwell throughout the movie, and that is one of the most powerful things I've ever seen cinema do. This isn't just a biopic or a documentary about a star or a band from a past that will forever be remembered as a dashing hero in celluloid. This is an honest and truthful conversation through film between two people who never even met, and that to me is an absolutely powerful, inspiring, and incredible thing that Herzog achieved with this work.
I never met Timothy Treadwell. He was dead almost for a year when I stumbled across his story, or rather he stumbled into my path, and I seized the opportunity. And for me, he's not dead at all. He lives on and is very much alive and very much someone who is around. And I simply worked with his material, and I do have an ongoing argument throughout the film with him. So it's not, he doesn't feel dead.
The soundtrack to Grizzly Man is also a great work of beauty, and so much more than just an accompaniment to the images. It was recorded by folk guitarist Richard Thompson, who was part of the lineup for the famous group Fairport Convention, and it really helps to make the movie sing.
We are not playing to the image that is on the screen. It should be much freer flowing, and we'll find a way to arrange the music with the images.
Once again, I felt myself being a little stuck for words when it came to saying how much of an inspiration Grizzly Man and Herzog's work has been and continues to be to me throughout my life. So for the next few minutes, here's a piece of original music I've written and recorded that hopefully helps to express what this work means to me. So stick around, and I'll see you at the end of the music. 1, 2, 3, 4.
severe. He's now moving away from me. I've now proven myself as being able to hold my ground and therefore earning their respect. As you can see, I'm just feet away. He's a big bear. He's a big bear. A very big bear. I didn't mean to get in your way. I think they've been misunderstood. Right back. Go back.
Here I differ with Treadwell. He seemed to ignore the fact that in nature there are predators. I believe the common denominator of the universe is not harmony, but chaos, hostility, and murder.
This is my favorite. This is my cowboy. Always in black, always sunglasses.
And I thank the animals for keeping me safe and for inspiring me. I thank them so very much. Goodbye.
Thanks for coming back. I hope those of you who stayed enjoyed the music. Music and film has always been inseparable to me, especially when you get a great soundtrack like Grizzly Man's. So it's great to be able to express myself through music about the movies and soundtracks that I love. There is a wildness to the score of the film, and I think to the whole movie. It's there in Herzog's editing sometimes. After an interview, he pauses, which he has done in many documentaries before. And I think because he hangs on that brief moment, it helps to extend the emotion, but more so for me, it captures a cinematic reality of the person. It's not quite them, it's an image of the person. And for those few moments, 1 second is 1 second for everybody, and we all partake in the movie.
It's the last thing that's left.
I think it's quite an incredible and beautiful imagined reality that Herzog creates with the wildness or the editing techniques in the film. And I think it becomes a cinematic truth, not necessarily a document, and I just love that. It's in these small moments that we see something original, something that only Herzog creates with the camera.
Well, I don't think Timmy ever scared the cows, so who cares?
And that, for me, is what makes this movie stand out as a powerful and fearlessly original work. Now, personally, I don't agree with Treadwell. I think the boundaries he crossed were a step too far, but that's not for me to say. Herzog sees it well when he says he doesn't see a friend in the grizzlies. He sees a dull hunger, an instinct that drives survival in wild nature. And that is a place that humans came from, but we no longer belong.
In all the faces of all the bears that Treadwell ever filmed, I discover no kinship, no understanding, no mercy. I see only the overwhelming indifference of nature.
If you've yet to see Grizzly Man, check it out. It's a masterwork of cinema and an inquiry into the human condition. It does for me what all good cinema should do. It makes us ask questions, moral questions, about ourselves. It's a great work by the one and only Werner Herzog.
You are filmmakers, you are shaping films, you are creative, you have to never be a fly on the wall.
Thanks for watching my take on Herzog's Grizzly Man. Let me know your thoughts on my music and the movie in the comments below. As I did with my previous music-inspired episode on John Carpenter, I'll put just the music without the review and dialogue up on my music channel, Boneyard Music, if you want to have a listen again without having to skip through the intro. And if you want to see more from me, please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you all so much for listening.